Hello there guys, and welcome to another Forza Horizon 5 video on my channel. I am back with another full festival playlist walkthrough, this time for the first week of Series 34. My PC has now been fixed, hopefully, so I'm able to produce another video for you guys, this time on the summer wet season of the latest series, which is Horizon Retrowave, and we'll be going I'll delving into a couple of the things that have been added. It's a pretty good update. There's also a few fixes, so I'll quickly whiz through the release notes in a minute as well. But in this video, I'm going to be taking you through all of the events in the festival playlist for the summer season. So we'll be working through it section by section. So as always, we'll start on the left with the Forzathon events section, then we'll move over to the season events section, then over to challenges, then over to monthly rivals, and then over to the expansion events at the end. We'll be covering all of the events. I'll be giving you my tips and tricks, any other information that you'll need to know before completing them, and then for the challenges that this applies to, I'll show some tunes and car suggestions as well. So we'll be heading over to my garage. I'll be popping screenshots up on screen of all the cars that are relevant for that event and restriction, and then unless I say otherwise, all of those tunes will be made by me. So you can use my gamer tag, which is in the top left there, Shylo 2017 with a capital S, to find all of those. And if you have any other questions as I go through the stuff in the video, you can timestamp or whatever you want to do and leave a comment below. You can also contact me on Xbox with my gamer tag, or on Discord where my username is Shylo2017, but just with a lowercase s over on Discord there. So thank you very much for watching. Before we start, I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you find it helpful, and if by the end that is the case, then I'd greatly appreciate if you could like and subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on, so that you get notified with these videos every week, providing that I can get them out. You know, technology doesn't like to be on my side, but we won't go into too much detail on that in this video. I might do a quick post on that, but if you've read the community section, you'll probably have seen that. But without any further ado, let's delve into a couple of things in this update for Series 34, and then as usual we'll also cover the rewards for the season and for the series. But obviously with it being the first guide of the month, I'd like to cover what is in the update as well for this one. Okay then, so as I mentioned, Horizon Retrowave is the 34th update that Horizon 5 has received, and not excluding the kind of the little bug fixes and hot fixes, but it's the 34th monthly update that we've had. Quite hard to believe actually that the game's been going for that long, but it has 2.5 years, over 2.5 years now I think, by a couple of weeks. So the Horizon Retrowave update released, I think it was downloadable kind of this time last week, because they did the Let's Go stream last Friday. I'm recording it on Friday the 24th, so they did the stream last week, and I think the update was available kind of earlier this week actually. The release notes are from the 21st of May, which was from Tuesday. So some of the stuff that we've got, as usual, we've got our festival playlist cars. So one of them appears in the series here, the Hyundai Envision 74 from 2022. Which is a very cool car, and that is the kind of the cover car of the series, as you can see on this icon here. And as I'm running through these things, I'll drop screenshots of a couple of them in, maybe a bit of a video demonstration, but not for all of them, because there is quite a lot in this update actually. So for those of you who like EventLab, we've got some new EventLab props, and they follow the theme of some of the Evolving World features. So the Evolving World feature for this series is highway decorations for the Retrowave theme. As you'll notice, all the it's kind of the neon lights kind of theme from that update, but instead of it being on like the drag strip and street scene and stuff, it's on the highway. So there's loads of like cubes, lampposts, palm trees, loads of extra barriers and other things, and everything's lit up. Unfortunately, it isn't the whole of the highway, but that is relatively understandable considering how much time the developers have got to actually implement it. But it is a good chunk of the highway, kind of the portion with the cloverleaf and the street scene festival. So some of those props have been added into EventLab, and they also have a cool feature where they kind of pulse with the music. So at the where the beats of the music are going, they can they can pulse with it. However, you can turn that off in the settings if you want to. And talking of music, there's also a new radio station, which is aptly called Horizon Wave. It's got 21 new songs and a new DJ, Isabel Moss, apparently. I didn't actually hear that on the stream, actually, so that's interesting. Yep, and then we've got the gameplay of the intro. So when you launch the game, you'll actually notice that the intro has changed. Instead of being the one that's been going from the start of the game, they've actually changed it. So it kind of starts off with a retro picture, and it's the Hyundai Envision driving along all of the new decorations on the highway. So you get to see them as well when you actually launch the game. So that comes as part of the limited time series. And then also we've got a couple of new outfits. So they've collaborated with Minecraft. So on Forza, you've got 2 Minecraft heads, which are the Enderman and the Creeper. I think it's the Creeper. And then if you go on Minecraft, if you also play Minecraft, I believe there is a limited edition Forza outfit that you can dress your character in, which is pretty cool. We've got 1 new car collector accolade, so collecting all of the 5 new cars in the month will get you that. We've got 6 new car horns, and we've got 3 new badges and 1 new outfit as well. So there's lots of things packed in there. I'll drop a couple of them on the screen, like I said. And then there's a couple of bug fixes as well, which I have noticed, most of them when I've been playing, actually. Stuff to do with the game saying Forza Horizon server not available, stuff like that. Not being able to view tunes, not being able to delete messages from the message centre, when you use quick resume, the map not loading the correct festival playlist, and then a couple of issues with cars as well, which they have fixed. Which is good, always good to see. So that is all of the update. I know I've spent a couple of minutes on that, but I just thought I'd inform you on what we have got in the Retrowave series. It is quite a good one, like I said, and hopefully the event lab creators will have fun with it as well. I'm sure there'll be a couple of the event labs that are created featured in future festival playlists in the near future. Yeah, so yeah, very cool series. And then next month as well, I know it's a while away, 4 weeks away, but that is Modern Horizons, where we've got a highly requested car amongst other things, which will be cool. So without any further ado, now we will jump quickly into the rewards and then into the summer festival playlist. Returning quickly to the summer season, we've got our 20 points and our 40 points rewards out of a total of 72 points for this series. So last series the seasons were all 75 points, this time it's 72 points for the series. So these rewards are generally new exclusives with the current update. That's typically the 20-point reward, and then the 40-point reward is typically exclusive reappearing from previous updates that you might not have unlocked, and you get another chance to unlock it. So this week for 20 points, we've got a brand new to Forza car. It is the 2021 Lamborghini Countach. Quite old now, actually, 3 years old, but it doesn't seem that long ago that it was released. But that has been added in with the update. Obviously fits in with the Retrowave theme, because obviously the original Countach was an absolute legend, and now the new one's been added. Not quite sure of my opinion on it, but it definitely looks cool, and that is brand new. And then for 40 points, the Ferrari 512 Testarossa has been reappeared. I'm not sure how many times it's been featured in the playlist, but it's definitely been in once. I remember seeing it quite early on in the game. So if you haven't got it, you've got another chance to unlock that. And then over on the series, I've already mentioned the Envision 74, which is your 80-point reward, and that's out of a total of 288 points, because 72 times 4 is 288. So you can work towards these rewards across the whole series. So you might get, say, 40 points in the first season, 60 points in the second one, however it works. But generally, if you get 20 points every season, you'll get your 80-point reward, and 40 points every season, you'll get your 160-point reward, which happens to be the DeLorean, another car that fits in with the theme. Obviously it does, because they've picked the cars to fit that. I'm not really sure why I'm saying that, but yes, the DeLorean, which was first added probably about a year and a half ago now in the game, and that is it's a legendary car. I mean, that's quite apt. And that is returning for 160 points. So quite a lot of work there, but if you get 40 points at least every week across the month, then you will be able to unlock that. Right then, we jump straight into the action with the festival playlist for summer by taking a look at the Forzathon section, which has got the weekly challenge, 7 daily challenges, and a Horizon Forzathon shop to spend your well-earned points. So we'll start off with the weekly challenge, which is called Type R. This will get you 5 points towards the playlist and also get you some Forzathon points. So it will get you 80 Forzathon points as standard, and that will double to 160, like you can see on my screen. If you own the La Casa Solariga player house, that house comes free with the VIP pass, which is part of the premium add-ons bundle, and that house also grants you double Forzathon points in every Forzathon related event. So the daily challenges, and then also Horizon Arcade, where you get your Forzathon points as reward for completing each round, and sometimes Forzathon points are rewards for like the treasure hunt as well, so that will also double if that's the case, and therefore I highly recommend that you do purchase that house. So moving over to the chapters, Chapter 1 Limited Edition wants you to own and drive the 1992 Honda NSX-R. Now this car can be purchased in the auto show, it can also be found in the auction house. Whether it'll be cheaper or not, I'm not sure, because auction house prices fluctuate depending on availability and how desired people the car is. You know, people are wanting to buy them, which they will be because it's in the Forzathon, then it may go up or down. Once you're in your car, you may wish to download a tune. If you want to download one of mine, I've created one as usual for the Forzathon. In fact, I created it quite a while ago, I think, but I've tweaked a couple of things on it to make it up to date, and I've shared it. So if you want to download it, you can use my gamer tag. I'll also pop the tune menu and share code up on screen for this one. I won't do it for all of them throughout the video, but I will just for this one, for the Forzathon challenge. So you need to own and drive that, get in it, pop a tune on, and then you'll be ready to tackle the next chapters. Next up, for Track Ready, you'll need to win a street race in your NSX-R. And also, by the way, make sure you don't confuse it with the NSX-R GT or the newer NSX-R as well, because I think there's 3 of them. So make sure you do get the right one, by the way. Otherwise, of course, it won't work. So to win a street race, it's quite simple. You just need to head over to your map. You can filter to street racing. I will pop a demonstration up on screen. And then you just need to pick any street race. Street races aren't personally my favourite, so I tend to try and pick the shortest one, but it's completely up to you what you do. Generally, there's a similar length, 2 to 3 minutes, and obviously you need to watch out for the AI and other things, but you just need to win a street race. Now, because it doesn't mention any difficulty, you can actually lower the difficulty all the way down to Tourist, I think is the lowest difficulty. And that will make your life a lot easier because the AI are then less likely to be able to beat you. So it does make your life easier, make it so that you don't have to keep doing it to make sure that you win. Gives you a bit of leeway to make mistakes and stuff like that. So hopefully that one will be simple. Then Chapter 3, Premium Add-ons, want you to spend 20,000 credits on upgrades. Now, of course, if you've already applied my tune for the previous chapters, what you might want to do is buy another NSX-R and just pop the tune back on. And obviously it's more than 20,000 credits, so that will cover it. Alternatively, you could just remove the tune and spend another 20,000 credits, but I think it has to be different upgrades, because I've done it before where I've kind of deleted the tune and then reapplied it, and it doesn't seem to like it on the same car. So it's probably just easier if you buy another car. Or if you know in advance, you can maybe do the previous chapter stock and then add the upgrade. It's completely up to you, but either way, just spend 20,000 credits or more. And then finally, Chapter 4, Power to Weight, wants you to earn 3 stars at speed zones. Now again, head over to the map, filter your map to speed zones, because that way it'll help you to avoid the confusion of speed traps, because the icons are quite similar. And then you just need to get 3 stars. Now, it doesn't say you have to get 3 stars in one go, so it could be a total. You could get 2 stars and then 1 star, or 2 stars and 2 stars, completely up to you, or you might get 3 stars. Straight away, but obviously try and pick a speed zone that's suited to your car. So I wouldn't recommend picking one on the highway unless you've got like a maxed out tune. Similarly, off-road probably not going to be suited to most tunes on the NSX-R, but completely up to you. Pick one that suits it, and then just go ahead and get 3 stars, either a first time or in a total. And that will then complete the Forzathon Weekly Challenge Type R for the summer season. Next up in the first section is the daily challenges. There are 7 of them and they release across the week, so you get 1 every day, and they also last for 7 days each. So with the exception of the first one, which I've inadvertently already completed, they will last into next season, which is of course the autumn season, because they last for 7 days. So as they release across the week, they'll get further and further into the autumn season, and then autumn seasons will overlap into the winter season, and so on and so forth. So it's up to you when you complete them. I personally prefer to just do them in batches, so I don't force myself to come on every day to complete them, and in fact I usually just complete them if I need a couple more points for the 40-point reward, because that's typically all I do nowadays in terms of the festival playlist. So it's completely up to you, but these are usually quite simple. So win a road circuit race in any retro sports car. Obviously you need to make sure it's a road race, then you need to make sure it's a circuit race, and finally you need to make sure you're in a retro sports car. Aside from that, there's not really much that can go wrong, so hopefully they should be quite simple, but if you don't understand them, or you're having issues completing them throughout the week with any of them, just let me know in the comments, Xbox or Discord, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. To wrap up this Forzathon section, we now have the Horizon Forzathon shop to take a look at. So as always, we've got 2 cars, we've got a horn, a couple of clothing items, and then the usual wheel spin and super wheel spin. So the hot deal of the week goes to the Ferrari 288 GTO for 800 Forzathon points. Now, I gather that that's an auto show car, because they usually are in the Forzathon shop, but they tend to be ones that may be a couple of million credits, so generally a bit expensive, although you do have the auto show car vouchers if you want to purchase them as well, although I wouldn't exactly advise that. So that is your hot deal. Then we've also got the Nissan R390 GT1 for 500 Forzathon points. Again, it's a reasonably expensive car in the auto show, but perhaps not worth 500 Forzathon points. It's completely up to you which method you prefer if you want these cars. Then we've got a dial tone car horn. I think this is one of the ones that is coming with the update, one of the 6 new Retrowave car horns, but we'll have a listen regardless of whether it is or not. Nice and short. Then we've got an Extreme E Pink race suit and Hot Wheels sundress, both for 75 points each. The same for the horn as well. And then the wheel spin and super wheel spin, I wouldn't recommend that, but you can get one of each of those for the week if you wish to. That wraps up the Forzathon section, which means we can now move on to the season events section, where we've got Horizon Arcade, we've got the Trial, 2 times EventLabs, 3 times seasonal PR Stunts, and 2 times seasonal championships. So let's kick off by taking a look at the Horizon Arcade. Okay then, so for your Horizon Arcade, you'll just need to complete any Horizon Arcade theme, which will get you 3 points, and then 30 or 60 Forzathon points, depending on whether you own the house that I mentioned earlier. So basically, if you head over to your map, these are actually right next to each other, which you've never really seen before. There's always 2 Horizon Arcade pink circles on the map. One of them's always drift. I'm not really sure why, but it just is. And then the others vary. So this one is wreckage. There's also air, speed. Can't really remember the other ones, but you basically just need to go and enter one of them. So they appear, I think, 12 minutes before they start. These are starting in 10 minutes, and then once they start, you have 10 minutes to complete all 3 rounds. Now the actual objective is always the same, or it'll be decided when you load it. But the level of the objective, like the actual amount, will vary depending on how many players are actually participating. So if there's only you, the objective is going to be far lower than if there was, say, 5 people completing the Horizon Arcade, which means that it's actually achievable if you're doing it on your own or only with 1 or 2 other people. You just need to complete all 3 rounds. So they may be like smash a certain amount of things, or do a drift zone, do a danger sign, whatever it is. They're the kinds of things that you'll be doing. Obviously, there's no car restriction because it's just in free roam, but obviously you will want to bring a suitable car So you wouldn't bring like a beach buggy to the drift one or anything like that, but obviously that's up to you to decide which car you participate in, but you just need to complete all 3 rounds, and then you'll get yourself the 3 points and those Forzathon points. Preceding that Horizon Arcade that you've hopefully been able to complete, we now have this week's trial, which will get you 10 points towards your festival playlist, so definitely worth completing. It'll also get you a Lambo Countach, that's the original. Of course, we get the newer one for 20 points, as I mentioned earlier, and the title of this is Countach for More. And the restriction is S1 class retro supercar. So we'll head over to my garage in a second and I'll pop my car suggestions up for that one. But just before we do, for those of you who don't know, the way the trial works revolves around a co-op team system. So you're part of a team of up to 6 players and you're racing a team of 6 driver tires. Now your team can be made up of randoms, or you may have a convoy, but make sure that convoy is only 6 players or up to 6 players before entering, because you can't enter with any more than that, up to the convoy maximum of 12 for this event. And the same applies for the championships and other stuff as well. And then you basically have to try and beat the driver tires in a set of 3 races. So it's best of 3, which is first team to 2 wins. So you get 100 points for every overtake, and then 50 points for whoever on either team is in first place. But obviously the driver tires get points for overtaking you as well, and therefore it requires a team effort to win this trial event. So don't ram your teammates, feel free to ram the driver tires, but that can be a bit tricky sometimes. So let's head over to my garage and see which S1 retro supercars I have got for you. Next up on the season events agenda is a series of EventLabs. So we've only got 2 of them this week. However, hopefully they'll be good ones, as I'm sure they will. We saw kind of a teaser of all of the EventLabs in the series on the Forza stream that I mentioned last Friday, so I think they're all pretty decent. The first one comes from Mike Getz, and it is Temple's Rally, which is a mixed surface rally circuit with 2 laps, and the reward for completing this is 3 points towards your playlist and a 1982 Porsche 911 Turbo. I believe that car has some cool perks in its car mastery tree if you want to check that out. And the restriction is B-Class Retro Rally, so let's see which Retro Rally cars I've got for this. The second event lab of the week comes from Andy PS Back, and it is the Tiny Tangerine. He offers some recommendations that you avoid the curbs on the apex in lowered cars, and you can also make use of photo opportunities, and that he's used the 100% prop capacity for this event, which is cool, so looking forward to this one. It will get you 3 points and a Ford RS500, and the restriction is A-Class Retro Supercars. So we've had S1 and now we're moving over to A-Class in that category, so let's see which of those I've got. We have now reached the action part of the video, because it is now the seasonal PR stunts following from those event labs. So there's 3 of them this week, and as always I will go through the restriction, what you need to do, and then I will show you some gameplay of me completing them so you can see what kind of run up you take. Obviously I do sometimes fail them. If that's the case, I'll probably include it, but then I'll make sure that I include the clip where I complete it as well, just so you can see what you need to do for these, because some of them are trickier than others. So they will all get you 2 points and a super wheel spin this week. It is the Launch Control Danger Sign, the Los Arbolas Speed Trap, and the La Silica Speed Zone. So we've got one of each there, well, excluding Trailblazer and Drift Zone, but they're all 3 different is what I was meaning to say there. So the restriction for these is D-Class Pontiac Trans Am from 1987. So it's a specific car this week. It must be that car. Make sure you're getting the right one, and then you can tune it to the top of D class. Now you've only got 15 PI to work with because it starts at D485 PI. But I've made a tune. I think when I was in the upgrade menu, it said it was D500, but then when I've shared the tune, it's D499. I'm not really sure how that works. Probably a PI glitch going on there, but it is basically the top of D class. Couldn't really do much with it, but I've added a bit of extra horsepower, and that's about it, if I'm honest with you. So pedal to the metal, and hopefully we can complete it, and you'll be able to see how I complete it when I show you the gameplay. So I'll just show you that car in my garage, and then I will roll the clips. Moving away from the department of seasonal PR stunts, we now have 2 seasonal championships to round out the season events section. The first one comes in the form of Red Sky at Night, which is based on street racing and will get you 5 points, and a 1987 Nissan GTS-R. And the restriction for this one is B-Class Retro Sports Cars. Now, both of these championships can be completed in solo or co-op mode / PvP. If you do choose to complete with the convoy, I would avoid the PvP option and instead choose the co-op option, because PvP means only one of you will receive the award at the end. Whereas co-op means that all of you in the team will get the reward, like in the trial. However, it will be locked to highly skilled driver tar difficulty in the championships rather than the unbeatable difficulty of the trial. And if you do choose to do co-op, it will work in the same way as the trial, so it'll fast travel you to all the other events, and it will be a best of 3 against the AI. But if you do choose to do solo instead, you'll need to drive or fast travel between each event. So you'll start the first one, and then once you finish it, it'll pop you back into free roam, and then you've got to go to the other ones. It doesn't matter which order you do them in. Go to one of the other 2 in the championship, complete that, and then the final one. So it doesn't mean that you've been kicked out of the championship, you just have to go to the next event. And I'll put a little demonstration of that up on the screen so you can see, because you can tell which championships are in your races are in your current championship, because the icon will change. So here it's red on white. Sorry, it isn't. Ignore me. It's white on red for the championship, and the races that are in your current championship will be red on white. So you'll be able to tell the difference, and then go and drive or fast travel to those events. The second championship of the summer season then is called Above and Beyond, and it will get you another 5 points, and this time the Forzathon car, the 1992 Honda NSXR, is your additional reward. So if you don't own that and you don't want to purchase it from the auto show or the auction house, you can complete this championship first and then use it for the Forzathon. This championship's based on road racing this time, and the restriction is A-Class Retro Supercars. So we've already had that for the Event Lab from Andy PS back, so I'm not going to show that again, but Retro Supercars in A-Class is your car, so you can refer back to that one for the recommendations on that. The chapters will be in the description at some point, probably not straight away, but usually within 24 hours. Either me or one of the channel mods usually does them, so when one of us gets time, and then I will put them in the description for you so you can refer back to that whenever necessary. Okay, so we've now completed the longer section in the festival playlist, the season events section. We can now move on to the third section, which is challenges. I do have a little confession with this section, as you'll probably see. These latter three sections shouldn't take us as long. Now, in the challenges section this week, we've got treasure hunt, we've got a photo challenge, and we've got an eliminator challenge. Now, what is my confession? Well, as you can see, I've already completed the eliminator, because when the season changed, I had already done all the tunes, so I'd already sorted out all the tunes, but at that point, I didn't have my PC. So you'll seen that I put a post on Friday evening. It was actually after I started recording this video, because I'm now recording this bit on the Saturday, but I put a post on saying that I got my PC back and that recording is underway. But on Thursday, I didn't have my PC, so I couldn't do anything more than doing the tunes. So I decided to play around with the Eliminator, not realising that it was in the festival playlist. However, no problem, because we do know what the challenges for that as always. But then in completing the Eliminator, during one of the final showdowns, I noticed that Treasure Challenge Completed popped up on my screen. I've got no idea what it is. I'm going to look that up now so I can tell you, but unfortunately the actual usual screen that I would display here first, telling you what you need to do, given the treasure clue, isn't there because I inadvertently completed it and I didn't know anything about it. So that is my confession, but we will get on with the treasure hunt, Near Misfortune. Once you've smashed the chest, which you can see there, you'll get yourself 3 points and 100,000 credits. So what I'll do is I'll look up what the clue is, and then I'll run you through it, what you need to do, and then I will show you the circle on the map that pops up once you've completed it. It works in the same way as a barn find, so the treasure chest is somewhere within the circle, except the circle is like a pinky orange rather than a purple. And then you get this additional clue, which you can already see as to where it's located, and then you just got to go and find it basically. So I will show you the exact location, but of course if you don't want to see it, then you can skip that part of the video, either using the chapters or just guessing how long it would take for me to cover that. Okay then, so the treasure clue for Near Misfortunes challenge is as follows. Driving close to traffic may be daunting, but on the highway this challenge is rewarding. And I'll just give you a little description. So the thumbnail that's supposed to be there contains a DeLorean and what looks like to be a Mazda 3 traffic car. And all you need to do for this one is get a near miss skill on the highway in any car. So that is why there is an AI traffic car. And you don't have to use the DeLorean if you don't want to, but you may wish to. Obviously it is the 160 point series reward, so if you already own that car you can use it, or you can just use any car. So you may want to use the car that you're just currently in. Just drive down the highway, get one near miss skill, that's all you need. The easiest way to do that is drive on the wrong side of the highway where the cars are coming towards you, get a near miss skill, and it should say treasure challenge completed. Then you'll get this clue in your festival playlist, you'll get the circle pop up on your map, and then you can go and find the actual treasure chest. So I will do that now. I'll pop up each stage on the map, the circle, where the location is, and then me smashing through the chest, so you can see exactly where it is. And obviously if you don't want to see it, then pause the video or skip this part. Next up in this third section is the photo challenge, #MyFairLady, which will get you 2 points and a Retrowave outfit, which is a new clothing reward that has come with the Retrowave update that I mentioned at the start, I think, the new outfit, and this is how you unlock it. So I would recommend that you spend the 1 or 2 minutes that this challenge will take you to complete it. And this challenge requires you to photograph the 1994 Nissan Fairlady Z or Z version S twin turbo at Tulum. So it's quite a mouthful in terms of the car's name, but it is the car pictured, basically the 1994 Fairlady. Nissan. You just need to hop into that car and then head over to Tulum, which is located right here. Just open up photo mode, park your car somewhere next to it, and then, like in this photo here, get a bit of your car, bit of Tulum in the photo, and it should complete it. If not, just kind of move your car around until it does, because sometimes it can be a bit picky where it wants to actually do that. But that should be the photo challenge completed for you. To wrap up a nice challenges section, we round off with the Eliminator Battle Royale challenge, which will get you 2 points, I think, and this is fine Forza Link reward if you want that, if you want to equip it in any of your Forza Link divisions. And the challenge for this one, even though I've completed it, I always know, because it's always the same, and that is basically to finish 30th or better in a round of the Eliminator. So hopefully it should be nice and easy. To be fair, some rounds actually start with around 30 or less players anyway, depending on what time of day it is, because obviously with the different time zones around the world, some people perhaps in, you know, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, etc. There won't be as many players perhaps as there is when all of the Americans and the Europeans are online. So you may actually find a lobby that is less than 30 players, in which case it'll automatically complete it. But if not, and your lobby starts with more than 30 players, you just got to play until the the icon in the top left where it says driver's left is 30 or less. Obviously that includes you. So 29 other players basically, but it'll need to read 30 or less. And you can enter a round via the online time of your pause menu. I believe you can also click on this icon here. I'm not going to do it right now, but I believe they can also do that. Or you can head over to the location on the map where the Eliminator is located, and I'll pop that up on screen. It's kind of in the top right of the map, by all of that rocky area. I can't remember what it's called. So there are the 3 ways that you can enter a round. And you know, you can just play as normal. Once you get to 30 drivers or left, you can quit. You may run the risk of it invalidating the challenge, but if you're prepared to take that risk, then feel free to do so. Or you can just carry on and get eliminated naturally, either by the arena, by another opponent, or whatever. Completely up to you how you do it. But that is the Eliminator challenge, and that is the challenges section. Now we progress to the penultimate section of the festival playlist, where we have 4 monthly rivals events to take a look at. 2 of them the normal monthly rivals, and we've also got the return this series of the Forza EV rivals, because all of the ones last series were normal. We had 4 of them, but they were all the traditional monthly rivals. Featuring combustion cars, but as the name suggests, these last for the whole month. They can be completed in any of the weeks, so you may not choose to do them this week, you may choose to do them in autumn, winter or spring, but whichever season you choose to do them in, you'll only have to do them once and it'll complete them for the whole series. So if you do it in summer, the points that you get will be added on to autumn, winter and spring, so you'll start them seasons with extra points. However, if you choose to do it in any of the later seasons, the points will be added on to the previous seasons as well. So whenever you choose to do it, the points will be added onto your season and series totals. And then points are explained as follows. So because there's 4 events, you get 4 points for completing each of them, as you can see. That 4 points will actually be added to the series total, and then it will be split, divided by 4 to cover the 4 seasons. So you'll notice that you get 1 point added onto each season's total. And then, of course, with there being 4 of them, once you've completed all of them, again, you may choose to do 1 or 2 of them this week or whatever. You'll get 16 points added onto your series, and then 4 points added onto each week's seasonal total. And the objective for all of them, as you can see, is post a clean lap to complete. Now, technically, that's not applicable to 2 of them because they're sprint races, Las Laderas and Descansa Dorado. However, same principle applies. You just need to post a clean time, basically. So to post a clean time, you just need to avoid dirtying your lap. And to dirty a lap, you basically, if you hit walls or any other non-destructible objects, if you use rewind, or if you miss any checkpoints or get your car reset in some other way, then that will flag a lap. It'll leave an exclamation mark next to your time, and that will mean it won't count because it is a dirty lap. So basically, you just need to avoid those things. You can drive at a controllable pace. You don't need to beat your rival, so you don't need to be pushing to try and get a fast time unless you specifically want to. So to complete this challenge, you basically just need to post a clean time on them. And of course, you do need to complete all 4 of them, because completing one won't complete them all. But like I said, it's up to you when you do choose to complete them. We have now reached the latter section of our festival playlist. We've completed all 4 sections prior to this, and now we can take a look at the expansion events, which, as you might expect, cover those on the Rally Adventure expansion and the Hot Wheels expansion, which can both be purchased. You do need to warn them to actually access their respective events, and you also don't get access to them straight away, so you'll have to play through some of the career mode of the expansions before you can access these festival playlist events for those expansions. However, if you do wish to purchase them and you don't already, I think you can buy the Rally Adventure expansion on its own, but not the Hot Wheels one. Don't ask me, I'm not really too sure on that. You can also get the expansions bundle, which basically just gets you both of the expansions, or you can get them as part of the premium add-ons bundle, which also includes the car pass, the VIP pass, and the welcome pack. So it's completely up to you how you purchase them, but either way you do need to own them to be able to access their events. Now I'll just quickly run through their events. So as always, we've got a PR stunt and a seasonal championship on both expansions. I'm not going to show gameplay for the PR stunts for these ones, but they do work in the same way as they do on the main map, same for the seasonal championship, so all of the principles that I have mentioned earlier on do apply to these as well. But I will tell you the restriction, and I'll give you a couple of cars for each of them as well. So on the Rally Adventure expansion, we've got the Palm Forest Danger Sign, which will get you 2 points and a super wheel spin, and we've got the Fish Out of Water Seasonal Championship based on the dirt racing part of the Rally Adventure expansion, because there's kind of 3 teams. And that will get you 5 points and an Opel Manta, and the restriction for this one is A-class rally monsters. And now coincidentally, I'm actually recommending the Opel Manta as part of this. If you already own it, you can use it, and then you'll end up getting another one once you complete it anyway. But let's see which of those I have got for you first. The final events of the season are on the Hot Wheels expansion, and they are the Forest Leap Danger Sign, getting you another 2 points and another super wheel spin, and then the When the Hemi Drops Seasonal Championship based on speed events, I think that symbol means, which is again one of the divisions of that expansion, and that will get you 5 points and a Plymouth Cuda, and the restriction for both of those is S1 class classic races. So let's head over to my garage for the last time this video. Okay then, so the conclusion of the last section, of course the expansion events, which we've just covered, means we have covered all of the sections, all the challenges in this festival playlist, and that means the end of this full festival playlist walkthrough. I thank you very much for watching. I hope that my tips, tricks and tunes and everything else from today's video will help you on your way to completion, unlocking the very cool new Lamborghini Countach, the Ferrari Testarossa, and of course earning you points towards your series as well, and the Envision and the DeLorean there. I'll be back hopefully next week with the autumn season festival playlist, although I will have to touch wood on that because I say that every week. But if I am here, we'll be taking a look at that season, where we've got the BMW M6 from 1986 as our exclusive reward to unlock for 20 points. So thank you very much for watching again. Do like and subscribe if you did enjoy today's video, and leave any thoughts that you've got or questions in the comments, and I will reply to them. So I will see you next week. Bye.